So hi guys, in the last video we have learned how to draw the free body diagrams. So if you have not watched that video, please watch that video before watching this. So in this video we'll be talking about how to solve some problems. So we'll be trying to covering as much spectrum as possible. So I hope you understood everything in this video. If you have any further doubts, you can please comment below and I'll try to respond to each and every comment. So best of luck. So any problem that we will be solving in the forces will include following steps. So what we'll be doing is we'll be analyzing the situation, then we'll be making the FBD, and then we will be finding the variables. Okay. So let us solve some problems. So the problem one is that assume these two are the fixed ends. Okay, this is a fixed end, this is a fixed end, and this is a rope. This is vertical 90-degree rope, and there is one more rope which is 37-degree, which is making 37-degree from the horizontal. Now let's say that there is some weight here which is applying a 200 Newton force. So you need to find that what is the tension in the rope this. So what is rope 1 and rope 2? So what is the tension in this rope and this rope? Okay. So how do you do problems like this is first of all you try to draw the FBD for the system. Okay. So on the system the FBD will look something like this. So there will be a T1 here, then there will be a T2 here, and then there will be some T3 downwards, and then there will be some T3 upwards. On 300 Newton force the T3 will be downwards, the T3 will be upwards, and on this point the T3 will be in the downward direction. Okay. So what we can do is now we can also talk about this point. See, this is a very unique situation. This point is massless. Okay, let us first draw the forces which are acting on this point. Okay, tension is always a pulling force. Okay, you just need to remember tension is a pulling force. So because tension is a pulling force, if at 300 Newton the tension is upwards, at this point tension will be downwards because it will try to pull the point. Okay, it will not try to push the point, it will try to pull the point. So tension will be downwards. And also in the last class we have talked about this, that why in the pulley also tension was downwards at the ends, because it is also equal and opposite in nature. Okay, so at this point, for this point we can say that there is a T3 downwards, there is a T1 here, and then there will be a T2 something like this. Okay, and T2 will be making 37-degree from the horizontal like this. Interior angles, this is 37-degree. So now what we can do is we can say this thing that we are given that the situation is in equilibrium, the system is in equilibrium. Now the system is in equilibrium, what does that imply? If the system is in equilibrium, that implies that the forces in the horizontal direction and the forces in the vertical directions, or per se the forces in all the direction are balanced. Okay, forces in all the direction are balanced. So what we can do is we can try to find forces in the horizontal direction, and we say this thing that sigma fx is equal to 0. What does this mean? The sum of all the forces in the horizontal direction equal to 0, and then we'll say that sigma fy equal to 0. Sum of all the forces in the vertical direction is also 0. You can take any other direction as well till the time it is given that system is in equilibrium, but we generally take x and y directions. Okay, so in the x direction, now see, T2 is not acting in the x direction or y direction, so we have to take components of T2. I hope you have an idea of how to take the components. So the T2 component in the x direction will be T2 cos 37, and upwards it will be T2 sin 37. So in the x direction, what are the forces with sign? So with sign we can say that there is a force T2 cos 37, then there is a force T1, and this has to be equal to 0. So this is our equation 1. Then we can write in y direction that there is a force T2 sin 37. So I am taking upward at positive, and this is positive, and this is negative, this is negative. You should also try to follow the similar convention. It is same as the coordinates that it is same as in the coordinate geometry that we follow. So you can apply a force T2 sin 37 upwards, and there is a force T3 downwards, and it is also equal to 0. Okay, it is also equal to 0. There is obviously no mass of the point, that's why there is no mg. We are assuming the point is massless. So these are the two equations that we get. So we will require one more equation for this that we can find from here. So let us try to draw the FBD for this 300 Newton block. So the FBD of this will say that there is a T3 force upwards, and then there will be 300 Newton force downwards. So we can say that T3 is equal to 300. Okay. Now T3 is 300. You can put T3 here. You will get T2, and then from T2 you can get T1. So you can solve the equations, and the final answers that you should get should be equal to. So T1 will be equal to 400 Newton, and you will get T2 which should be equal to, I think, 500 Newton. Yeah, 500 Newton. T2 will be equal to 500 Newton, and T1 will be equal to 400 Newton, and T3 is already 300 Newton. So I think that is good enough for this problem. So we can move on to next problem. So let us say that Okay, so let us say that there is situation something like this, that this is a block of mass m1 and this is a block of mass m2, and we are applying a force F here. So there is no friction. Okay, we have not talked about friction till yet, so there is no friction. So you need to find what is the acceleration of the system. Okay, what is the acceleration of the system? So we can first of all draw the FBD. So for m1 we can say that there is a force F here, and because m1 and m2 are connected to each other, there will be a normal force on this surface which will be pushing m1. So normal force here, and let us assume that because force is there, acceleration will also be in this direction. So let us also assume that there is some m1a here, because we are assuming acceleration a to be here. So for m1 the FBD will look something like F here, and then m1a force here, then this normal here. Okay, so these are the forces. So we can obviously balance the forces as we have done in the previous directions. So you have to remember this thing, that once we apply the pseudo force, then we can obviously balance the forces. Okay, we can say sigma fx is 0 because we have already applied pseudo forces. Okay, because in general we assume that the bodies are now moving with constant velocity or are at rest. Okay, after applying pseudo force, we come back to inertial frames. In an inertial frame, you can anytime say that the bodies are in constant velocity or at rest. So we can say F is equal to n plus m1a, or you can say like F minus n plus m1a equal to 0. Okay, you will get this, or you can say that this point is not moving now. That means the forces which are acting in this direction and forces which are acting in this directions are equal. You can say anyhow that you want. So this is the first equation. Then for m2 you can say that there will be a normal force because of m1, which will be something like this, and because it is also accelerating with a here, there will be m2a here. So you can write n is equal to m2a. Then you can put the value of n here, and you will get F is equal to m1 plus m2 into a, and a will be equal to F upon m1 plus m2. So this is the acceleration that you are getting. Okay, so let us say that the part B of the question say try to find a normal force. So you can substitute the acceleration here, and you can try getting the value of n, or you can simply put it here. So you will get value of normal to be m2f upon m1 plus m2. This is the value of normal force between these two bodies. Okay, so let us do one more problem which is similar to this. I would recommend that try to do this problem on your own, and then you can see the solution for answers. So let us say there are three blocks now, m1, then there is a block 2 which is m2, then there is a block 3 which is m3. Let us say that we are applying some force F, and that force is making an angle theta. So you need to find what is the forces of interaction between bodies. What does that mean? What is the normal force between body? Okay, normal force is sometimes labeled as forces of interaction because two bodies are touching each other. So try to find n1 and n2. Okay, so what you can do is you can simply make the FBDs for m1. We can say that there is a force F like this. There is a force, first of all there is a force F like this, which will be making theta from horizontal, and then we can say that there will be a force because of m2, which will be n2. Let us not take forces of the ground, or you can take if you want, because we don't want to find the forces of the ground. Okay, so we are not taking that because that will be anyways vertical na? And we'll be applying force balance in the horizontal direction, and the vertical force which will have no component in the horizontal direction. So even if I don't draw the vertical forces, that won't be an issue. Okay, I hope you're getting this point. What I'm saying is that there will be no component of the vertical force in the horizontal direction. So even if you're not taking those forces, that won't make any difference. So we can directly say n2 will be here, then there is a force F which is making an angle theta, and then let us say that there is an acceleration of the body A in this direction. So there will be a m1a here. So you can write F cos theta, which is the x component, is equal to m1a plus n2. Similarly, you can write the equations for m2 and m3 as well. For m2, you can say that there is a m2a in the backward direction, and this is due to the acceleration. Then there will be a n1 and n2. So direction of okay, so this was n1, this was n1, this was between these two, it was n1 not n2. So this was n1, so n1 will be here, then there will be n2. So for m2 you can write n2 plus m2a is equal to n1, and then for m3 you can write similarly that m3a will be backwards because it is accelerating forward, so the pseudo force will be backwards, and then there will be a force n2. So you can write the equation from here also, m3a is equal to n2. So there are three equations and there are three variables, n2, n1 and a. So you can eliminate a and you can try to get n1 and n2. So after solving, you can check your answer that n1 should be m1 into f cos theta upon m1 plus m2 plus m3, and n2 will should be equal to m1 plus m2 into f cos theta upon m1 plus m2 plus m3. Okay, so this is the answer that you should get. You can cross check your answers once. So let us do one more problem. So right now we are doing basic problems. In the next video we'll increase the level and we'll do some good problems. So let us do one more problem based on tensions. So let us say that there is a block 4 kg. Let us say first of all this is a ground, and this is a 4 kg block, this is a 3 kg block, and this is a 1 kg block. And let us say that we want to apply some force here. So let's say that we are applying a force of 28 Newton here. You need to find what is the acceleration A1, A2 and A3 of the system, and what is the tension in the ropes T1 and T2. Okay, so try to solve this. See, one thing you can directly say that because they are connected by a rope, this is connected by a rope, this is connected by a rope, the accelerations cannot be different. Acceleration A1, A2 and A3 has to be same, na? You can think about it, because of the constraint relations, the acceleration of A1, A2 and A3 has to be same. Why? Because see, there is one string between these two blocks, so we can say A1 is equal to A2, and there is one string between A2 and A3, so acceleration of A2 should also be equal to A3, so that the length of the string does not increase or decrease. This should be happening. Obviously, we are assuming that string remain tight during the entire motion, which will happen. You can imagine the situation when you are applying the force, the strings will always be tight. So this should happen. So we can obviously write A1 equal to A2 equal to A3, eliminating lots of variables. Let's say this is equal to A. Then you can simply draw the FBD. Let's say for A1, for this body M1. So what is happening? There is a 28 Newton force. Obviously there is some M1G, which even if you don't make, doesn't make any difference. Then there is a let's say some normal background, and what is happening? There is some T1, and there is some acceleration which is happening in the forward direction. So we'll apply M1A. 1 into A will be A. So you will get T1 plus A equal to 28 Newton. Then for the body 2, which is of 3 kg, you can write similar equation. I'm not drawing the FBD. You can simply see the situation and try to write the equation for it. See, you can directly see that T1 is here and T2 is backwards, and the 3A force, 3A2 force will also be backwards. So you can write that T1 is equal to forward force should be equal to T2 backward force plus 3A2. Okay, so this is the one equation. And for 4 kg block, what you can say? So for 4 kg block, we can say that there is a T2 force. Okay, this is one rope, so they will be T2, and this is one rope, so they will be T1. So for 4 kg block, you can simply say that T2 will be equal to what? 4A3, which is in the backward direction, the pseudo force. So based on these three equations, there are how many variables are there? So we have only 3 variables. So A2, we already know now that this is A equal to A2 equal to A3. So you can put A here in place of A2 and A3, and then obviously you can calculate T1 and T2. So try solving them. You should get T1 equal to 24 Newton and T2 should be equal to 16 Newton. Okay, so I think that is enough for today's video. In the next video, we'll be solving more. Solving more interesting problems based on this concept. In physics, one thing is very exciting, that concepts are very less and the application part is huge.